Oh my goodness, we got some things to shoot at today. Ow, baby. Let's put a little intro song on. A little hip hop. Yeah, from my personal library, Prospect Studios, home of the Blues of the Lingus people. This is You Player Hating Me. Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about some very sensitive subjects, yeah.
Still in the house, huh? Yeah, still in the house, hurting them. Yeah, still in the house, yeah, hurting them, breaking them down on y'all, you know what I'm saying, from 9 to 8. Me and Dan, Prospect Studio, no? Yeah, You play hating me, you pick up the things you want to take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hating me, you can pick up the things
You ready? Oh, get your notebook out. Mark this video down. Save it. Yeah, review it. It's going to be good.
It's on like a ball of counts, hundreds like sheep. In the Range Rover Jeep, a Desert Eagle, I keep rolling on roll with the people involved in luxurious bodies. Mansions and yachts, jewels, B12, a year on ends. Ain't no stopping when I'm dropping, cause I like to win. King Ben, just on top of the line, I keep you stuck like Chuck, so come and press your luck. Selling millions of copies, hardcore, undefeated. Stacking man, loop or triple flat, so beat it. Always on my grind with this blue collar grind. I'm a hustler to my hustler, caviar and guns. Their presidents in need to keep my game drunk tight. To the ultimate max, so the king can relax. Low key to the ground is alright for me. Like the 20-inch spokes, triple D's, you see. From the east to Beverly Hills, I keep it real worldwide when I ride. Me blue steel, you play hating me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hating me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hating me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hating me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me.
Hope everybody's having a great day.
So complex, like sex, I'm flex up.
Let's catch some winter chicks.
Recognize a real gun, I'm hotter than the sun. Ride Concord jets, I'm in the zone, blue still, I've been a player for life. Thousands here, thousands there, millions everywhere. Ghetto soldiers coming through with the word in my grip. I got the ladies on my tip, always on the trip. With the triple gold Dayton's on my Lexus truck. Smoking Cuban cigars as I stare at the stars. From state to state, it's first class, I'm asked. Make the diamonds and gold, my gang lights gold. Rockin' G's every hour, Superman, I stand. I beat that player blue steel, watch the sweep the land. Making me so large, incorporated entourage. This is how I ride. A
True movie star.
You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. Time to walk, if you feel the small, champagne, bright lights, want to reach new heights. Expensive videos, exotic shows, stocks and bonds, I'm pushing suckers like bonds. A briefcase player, West Michigan's best. But East Coast King, the walking life I bring. Wall Street is our beach, just to show us I'm deep. I like the basic geek, so I ride for loose. I stay true to my hood, putting back what I should. I can't forget where I come from as I knock on wood. A four-time loser, overnight success. I'm a fighter to the end, never settle for less. A legend to the world from the age of 12. From sleeping on the streets to living well. Play your haters bow down and French kiss my crown. I'm the last old eagle with that old school sound. From Atlanta to Detroit, truly do I say true. I'm the entrepreneur, challenge you go. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. You play hate me, we can pick up the things you wanna take me. I don't think you can hang. Yeah. Who's stealing the house? You know what I'm saying? For the 9-8, bring it down here, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Should have had a nice time. You know what I'm saying? On our way to the top, making millions. You know what I'm saying? So blues thing. You know what I'm saying? So rap thing. You know what I'm saying? Worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Check www.com. You know what I'm saying? We on the internet. We on everything.
Oh, yeah. That was Blue Steel. Yeah. Yeah, we might play that one later. Anyway, Yeah, I just burned a little sage, chase the bad spirits out of my space. I got some fresh coffee in my Harley Davidson cup. Yeah, I was just out working on my bike a little bit. I got a bad switch in it. Just made a video about that. Anyway, yeah, I've been talking about carrier pigeons, passenger pigeons, for about a year now. And it's all making sense now why those were pointed out to me to pay attention to. Here's a revelation there. Oh, which ties in with chitlins. Yeah, chitlins. Yeah, everybody talks about growing up hard and living in the ghetto and surviving on chitlins. Well, chitlins was what was left to eat after the capitalists sold all the meat. Yeah. The low-class people, the peasants and slaves, got to eat chitlins. That was what they had for dinner. Well, yeah, but do you know why they started eating chitlins? I'll tell you why. I found out. Yeah, I found out. See, chitlins is what they started feeding the slaves after all the free food was gone. You see, slaves were fed the passenger pigeons. Yeah, I got an article right here. This is from newscientist.com. Peaceful passenger pigeon waits for resurrection. This is from the 26th of June, 2013. 26th of June is a significant date. So it says here, passenger pigeons once formed flocks so vast that they would darken the sky for days as they flew past. In the 19th century, there were some 5 billion to 7 billion individual birds in North America, more than any other wild bird species in the world. From a position of such superabundance, it was unthinkable that they could dwindle. But not only did their numbers fall, the pigeons were completely wiped out in a matter of decades. Their extinction was driven by deforestation and hunting. The cheap pigeon meat was fed to slaves on a scale that humans excel at. The last animal, Martha, died right here near me in the Cincinnati Zoo on the 1st of September, 1914. Yeah, they fed the pigeons to the slaves because it was free. Yeah, wild birds. You know, like when you used to go out with a shotgun and shoot a bunch of starlings out of the tree to feed all them cats in your yard that the people in the city keep dumping off at your farm. Yeah, well, that's what they did with the slave population. Yeah, this is going to get interesting. You're going to love this. So when the pigeons ran out, they started feeding the slaves animal guts. Yeah, chitlins. It's animal guts. Yeah. So the good thing is that what happened spawned the birth of conservation. So there was a good thing that happened out of a terrible thing. And there's an article here, a silver lining in the passenger pigeon's demise. Jamie Rappaport Clark. And this is from October 31st, 2014. Yeah, and this is Cleveland.com opinion, the silver lining in the passenger pigeon. I want to read this real quick. It happened right here in Ohio when Martha, the last of the species, took her final breath at the Cincinnati Zoo. The passenger pigeon, once the most abundant bird in North America, if not the world, with an estimated population of between 3.7 and 5 billion birds, was gone. And it was our fault. While the birds were found throughout the United States, they nested in great abundance in Ohio and nearby states. At their peak, the birds were so abundant that citizens recount looking up to the sky, not being able to see the sun. Migrating flocks were so large they literally blocked the light. John James Audubon, one of our nation's first naturalists, recounts witnessing a flock so large that along the Ohio River that it took 3 days to pass in full. Unfortunately, 100 years ago, we were just beginning to grasp the effect we were having on the natural world. The thought that we could single-handedly drive a native species one that seemed so infinite and inexhaustible to extinction was unthinkable. Massive market hunting of the passenger pigeon to supply meat to the growing cities in the east resulted in the yearly slaughter of tens of millions of birds. When added to the catastrophic loss of nesting sites from the rapid deforestation of the eastern and midwestern states, the fate of the passenger pigeon was fixed and the speed of its decline was stunning. In just 50 years' time, the bird went from compromising 40% of the entire migratory bird population in North America to none. But this tragic story has a silver lining. The passenger pigeon's extinction and later the dramatic decline of iconic species like the whooping crane and American bison helped create a mainstream conservation movement among Americans. We opened our eyes and came to the realization that our natural resources and treasured wildlife species are too valuable to let perish, that they needed to be protected for future generations to enjoy. Today, this conservation value and ethic still holds just as strong. For the last 40 years, our nation has maintained an incredible track record of protecting our own imperiled wildlife at risk. That's because in 1973, 60 years after the pigeon's demise, Congress passed the Endangered Species Act, our nation's most effective wildlife conservation law. Thanks to the ESA, we've been able to save bald eagles, peregrine falcons, Florida manatees, southern sea otters, American alligators, grizzly bears, black-footed ferrets, and hundreds of other species from an inevitable slide towards extinction. With the passenger pigeon's demise, Americans saw earlier than many other nations how important it was to conserve our imperiled species, and we had the will and the sense of values to follow through. We were the first nation to create a national wildlife refuge system, the first to establish a national park, the first to establish an effective ESA to conserve imperiled wildlife, and the first nation to create a national celebration, Earth Day, in the name of conservation. America has always led the world when it came to conservation. It is a role we should not abandon today. Though long gone, the passenger pigeon's poignant story remains relevant. We couldn't save Martha's species, but there are many species today facing similar threats that we can still save, but only if the ESA remains strong. There are some in Congress who would dramatically weaken or gut the ESA in pursuit of short-term economic gain, the same motivation that drove the market hunters of Martha and her species. The American people must reject efforts to weaken the ESA and continue to learn from our own history so today's species don't follow Martha's path into extinction, which should easily be related to why the DNRs suffered so many cuts, especially in Michigan. So anyway, that's the article. That's Jamie Rappaport Clark is the president and CEO of Defenders of Wildlife. Previously, she was a director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service from 1997 to 2001. So, the bottom line is the food supply and the balance with nature and all the drugs in the street. Now, I'm a recovering alcoholic. It's been 662 days of sobriety since February 22nd, 2021. And anybody who's been following my show knows the before and after of how I was just like all the other idiots in the city streets. Yeah, drunk off my ass and out of my mind. Yeah, stupid. So, when you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, when you're feeding your addictions, one of the things is you don't eat. For one thing, it gets in the way of the high. Yeah, not only does it get in the way of the high, but buying food all the time, cuts into your available finances to be able to get that high. Yeah, so just imagine imagine how much demand there would be just in America alone for food if people weren't choosing to feed their addictions fostered into their institutionalization. Yeah, you've been institutionalized with the normalcy of those drugs within your reach. Yeah, they're put in the streets for a reason. And one reason could be to cut down on the demand for food. Yeah, allowing the more rich people to be able to still eat while they watch the show. Yeah, that Hunger Games thing, that's going to be a real thing, and maybe going on right now within an elite group, kind of like that Pizzagate thing. There might be an elite group of people high up that have access to watch our videos and watch our stupidity in the streets on their own private access. There could be. So they're going to watch us starving to death and killing each other, and cannibalism will happen. Yeah, cannibalism's coming in the future, while the elite hide, in spaceships and under the ice in Antarctica and watch the rest of the world go to hell. Yeah, so the passenger pigeon, there's a lot of key information right there that, for one thing, backs up my whole thing about how we have to tend the garden. We have to tend the garden. You see, the animals are all in the cities because we cut down all the trees. The acorns, all the berries, so we could have nice yards, and nothing was left for them. Yeah. And right now, everybody's, literally dying right before your eyes. See, there's going to be a big die-off when the extinction effect happens on these groups in society that have been fed all the dope. Yeah, there's going to be a big extinction. And keep in mind, that back to that life insurance story. Selling life insurance. Yeah, it's easy to prey on people and sell them life insurance at an affordable rate, while all the while you've already known that their environment isn't going to yield them the expected value of that life insurance. So there's another spot where you're giving money to somebody and you're going to be left empty-handed. Yeah, life insurance, it's a big scam. You see, they don't tell you when you buy the life insurance that in order to preserve the value of the policy, you can't eat processed foods. Yeah. You can't smoke. You can't drink. And you can't use dope. All those things at the carnival in the cities. Yeah, all those things at the carnival. Yeah, which goes back to that story about the popcorn. See, the argument's always been about the cost of the popcorn and the admission to get in. Yeah, not about arguing semantics and getting into an argument about some line in the Bible about somebody that stops the whole damn crew from working. We got to get out in the field. Yeah, everybody will come to the reality of the truth through doing the works with their hands, like finding love and finding friendship. Anybody who's ever worked on a crew, construction crew, you find out who your friends are because they're the guys working side by side, pulling their weight. Yeah, pulling their weight in the family, on the job site, in the community. Yeah, on the ball team. Yeah, the guys pulling their weight. And those are the guys that bond. Yeah. Oh, that's where you bond, in doing the work. It's all about doing the work. That's where you find your value, your self-esteem, through the works you do with your hands. Yeah, that's what makes people feel good. That's where the reward is. Everybody's been tricked into chasing money. And see, chasing money's part of a war you don't want nothing to do with. Yeah. Keep in mind, passenger pigeons are extinct because they didn't want to buy food to feed the slaves. Yeah, they fed them what was free. Yeah, the rats at the trash pile. Yeah, that's what they got to eat. Keep in mind, unless you're a stockholder, yeah, if you're not a stockholder, you're a slave. Yeah. So that group of white guys everybody's looking for, I found them. The whole bee's nest of them. Nielsen's ratings and the Media Ratings Council. Corporate America. So in order to fumigate the bee's nest, we got to attack them. And that means going back and reforming the Fair Ratings Act bill to start with. Fair Ratings Act, 2005. place sometimes. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Every once in a while I get lucky and a song comes out. Yeah, every once in a while. Anyway, passenger pigeons. A lot to be learned from the passenger pigeons. Yeah, they're running out of chitlins. Yeah. Actually, there might be a flood of chitlins on the market with all that Chinese pork. See, pork's the only thing that the average person can afford to buy. Yeah, $1.94 a pound. Pork and chicken. Chicken's going up. Yeah. So everybody needs to rebel by gathering the rainwater to water their garden with. Yeah. Yeah. Water the garden, water the lawn. Yeah, it's against your rights. Yeah, I think it's a violation of your rights to make a law saying you can't gather rainwater. So we need to fight that too. And we need to go back and we need to read that bill, 5,001 page bill, where they gave everybody stimulus check money, because I think that's significant of the abandonment of the American people by the corporate powers that are in control of our government. Yeah, we have to read that bill. Yeah, the bill where everybody got the money. Yeah, ties in with the Great Resignation. Yeah, and the COVID lockdown. It's all a big scam. Everybody's being played. In the meantime, sure is convenient to wear that mask out in public and do whatever you want. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody needs to pay attention to what's going on with the gun laws right now, because pretty soon it's going to come down to whether or not you have a gun. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to come down to that. That's coming very soon. You got to find out who your friends are. Yeah. The flags they fly. Yeah. The flags they fly. What they stand for. Yeah, it's time to distance yourself. All who inhabit the cities will become poison, Nostradamus said. Yeah. And I'm here with the medicine. Yeah. Crazy old mad Zack. Yeah. Crazy old fox. Mad scientist mad. Yes. Crazy enough to keep trying to do the impossible. Yeah. Peace, love, and you know who cares. Dare to be different. Dare to be original. Dare to step out in front of the crowd and be the change. Yeah. Dare to be the change.